buying this hella expensive Patagonia jacket was worth every single penny of it, because holy dog, this terrain is frustrating. Like, look at the ground. There's just water everywhere. Yeah, never mind about bouldering. I gotta make it up that. Thrilling. Yeah, doing it in the rain is quite different than out doing it in the sun. But as they say, if you're properly dressed up, it's not too bad. Well, that's certainly what we don't like to see. I think we're almost at the plateau.
Well, quite the introduction to this video, but I'm supposed to go up and hike Mount Katahdin, and apparently all the trails versus Chimney Pond, they're currently closed, and they're thinking they might open today or whatsoever, but apparently one of the guys down at the Chimney Pond campground might have a little bit more of information. And I have all my backpacking gear grabbing pretty much everything, and yeah, we're gonna see what happens if I can even make it to the summit. Apparently there's some patches of snow and some people have had to turn around, but let's get down to Chimney Pond. First off, gonna grab all of my gear and we'll go talk to this magical ranger called Andy. So let's hop onto the adventure and find out, everybody.
A few moments later.
Alright, so hopefully you guys are somewhat able to hear me well. We switched over to the GoPro. We're currently on the trail going up the Chimney Pond. It's about 3.3 miles, and I asked the ranger down at the Brookside camp for a rough estimate of time. Should take me about like 2 hours. Maybe I could clutch it in 1 hour and a half, but once we're down there, we'll talk with Andy, the ranger over there, and we'll see what he's got to say. And what's gonna happen is, if they do decide to open the trail, it should be the easiest one to get on from, I think they're calling it the south side on this part of the mountain. However, if they're not opening it, I might be able to switch my reservation to the Able campground. That way I'll be able to take the Able trail to get up to the Baxter Peak. Quite the change in plans at this point. I think we're just gonna try to make it to the peak and then call it a day. Possibly come back later during the summertime on a more beautiful day so that we can hopefully do knife edge. However though, for the moment, let's get the Chimney Pond. You know, I'll be honest, this is not even hiking. This is just rock bouldering, or yet to be at the exposed terrain. What the crap? And to think that people do the whole Appalachian Trail, whatever, how the heck you pronounce it. I would have to hit the gym every single day for 3 months before doing it. Alright, so we made it to Chimney Pond, and the rain does not look promising whatsoever. So we're still gonna go talk with the ranger. We'll find out what's up, but my doubts right now is probably negative. I don't think I'll be able to summit it today. However, though, tomorrow I should probably be camping at the Able campground, and hopefully the Able trail is good. Either way, let's go see the ranger.
A few moments later.
So we got a little update. Unfortunately, none of the trails are open, and it's actually for good reasons. Initially, I thought it was because of rain, but they're still covered in snow, surprisingly enough, despite being in June. But in the defense of the mountain, this is the north-facing part of it, so it doesn't get much sun exposure, so it takes a little while for all the snow to melt off. However, though, we switched the reservation to Able campground, so we're gonna hike back down from Chimney Pond. But honestly, the view here is pretty sick. Fortunately, the clouds are covering most of the peak views. I feel like it'd be so gorgeous if I could actually see it, but I think that'll be a later summer thing. However, though, let's get to Able campground. Alright everyone, so a little update. It was kind of funny. There was a few people that I passed while I was climbing up to Chimney Pond, and yeah, they looked pretty miserable whenever I walked past them. Not to sound mean or anything, but I don't think they were too prepared. This amount of rain that's coming down at the Oh, how lovely. There's actually still some people coming up the chimney pond. Anywho, as I was saying, there's a few people that are walking back and they did not look prepared whatsoever with this amount of water. If there's one thing I know, buying this hella expensive Patagonia jacket was worth every single penny of it, because holy dog, this rain is frustrating. Like, look at the ground. There's just water everywhere. And these boots have honestly been saving me, because whenever I did the funny footpath last year, it was one rainy day and I hated every second of it, because the shoes that I had, they were not waterproof whatsoever, so my socks got wet. I ended up getting some blisters. Overall, did not recommend it. And I think we're halfway down from Chimney Pond at the moment. I think going down is actually a little bit easier, despite having all the weight on my back. However, we secured a reservation for Able Campground, and apparently it's accessible by car. So we might actually go up to the Baxter Peak, remove my tent stuff and all of that, leave it in my car, and try to summit it with just my actual surviving gear, my non-camping ones. That way we could maybe remove like 10 pounds, and hopefully it will make my ascent a little bit easier. But let's get back on the trail, get back to the car. Alright, so we finally made it to the Able Campground, and I think we're gonna call it a day for today. I will probably catch some rest, kind of just vibe around, and then wait until tomorrow comes around the corner, since it's definitely too late to go up and then try to summit the peak of Baxter. So we're gonna play it safe and we'll wait for tomorrow. However, though, I'll give a quick little talk of the lean-tos. I think they're pretty cool. I had a little bit of a hard time to set up my tent because the poles were way longer. However, though, once everything was set up, like, this is amazing just to not have any rain on yourself, and like, you know, you can prepare yourself, dress up, and do whatever the hell you'd like without getting all of your body wet.
All right, so it's about 6:20 at the moment. I took a nice refreshing nap in the afternoon. That felt pretty good. I have no clue what's the trail condition above tree line. I just know there's a lot of bouldering, so I guess we'll find out tomorrow, but for now, let's catch some rest.
All right, good morning, everybody. Hopefully you can hear my voice well, despite it being tucked in my coat, but we packed everything away, slept like a baby. I think we got well over, like, I don't know, I think 10 or 11 hours of sleep. So we're probably gonna be able to kill it today. I'm hoping that we get above tree line pretty quickly, because I have quite a few layers on. I just don't want to sweat throughout all of it. But I talked with the lady that was in front, the ranger. Told me it might take up to 8 to 10 hours because of the snow. So I'm probably gonna set a turnaround like 2:30 or 3 o'clock. So that gives me plenty of time to get back down. Sunset around here is at like, I think last light is like 9:30. That's a fat 6 hours and 30 minutes. I mean, worst to come, we got a headlamp, but by that point we'd be back in tree line, and most of the trail is pretty easy to follow. It's mainly whenever we're out of the tree line that I'm hoping the trail is easy to follow, but I don't know. We'll find out shortly. Let's get started, and hopefully my experience is good despite the crappy weather, and we'll probably encounter some snow on top. Let's find out. You know, I gotta say, the Able Trail is a lot easier than the Chimney Pond, because the Chimney Pond was filled with boulders everywhere. I know there'll be some eventually, however, at least half of it is gonna be fairly easy, and if you're able to see and the water drop isn't killing it too much, vegetation is actually quite different than the other way. My assumption is probably because this is the south-facing part of the mountain, so due to that reason, probably gets a lot more sun exposure, so plants can thrive more. However, though, so far, the bottom part of Able is fairly straightforward, but I'm assuming once we get to the rock bouldering is when Nathaniel's gonna have quite the fun time. Well, y'all, if I don't make it, Liz, you can have my car keys, you know? Same with all of my fancy gadgets. Kidding. This boy's gonna make it up and make it right on back down. Yeah, never mind about bouldering. I gotta make it up that. Thrilling. I think that's one of the coolest things I'll always find when I'm climbing up a mountain. It's just a change in the ecosystem. Like, these are not the same trees that are down. Much more of moss. What's the small little plants that are trying to grow? It's mainly just Christmas trees, as I like to call them. And of course a bunch of other ones, but most of these are local to here, pretty much. I just find it pretty cool how it just changes by altitude. And I think shortly we'll be past the tree line, and I'll make sure to record that. I don't know if the GoPro is able to discern that. If you look down over there, that's where our campsite would have been. And I think we're just about to pass the tree line, and unfortunately it's still raining. Boo. But let's keep it going. Update. I'm starting to get a little bit exhausted. I think we're around 900-meter altitude. It's a little bit disappointing because that just means we still have another 700. But the vibes right now kind of reminds me of Mount Sugarloaf whenever I went skiing. It's just surrounding the trees and all. So I think a little bit more, and it will probably be past the tree line, which I'm kind of excited for because I'm pretty toasty in my outfit right now. So yeah. So update, hopefully you're able to hear me pretty well. We're officially above tree line, as you can see behind us. Kind of crazy to view during the rain time, but I'll be goddamn curious to see it whenever it's all cleared up. However though, we still got another like 600 meters of altitude changement to do left. It's kind of cool to see the, probably not able to see it, but the hunt trail in the background kind of just goes up a ridge. Let's keep it going. Trail's not too bad. Definitely a bit of rock climbing there and there, but probably not as bad as the Cathedral Trail. Let's continue. So update, I'm probably blurry very bad right now on the camera lens, but we're almost at the flat top, as they call it. Something in those around. I'm doing pretty all right. Thank the Lord I've got this jacket on. Yeah, doing it in the rain is quite different than out doing it in the sun. But as they say, if you're properly dressed up, it's not too bad. Well, that's certainly what we don't like to see. I think we're almost at the plateau. That's pretty nuts. I don't know if you can even read anything, but that's actually amazing. The weather's just, it's crap right now. But yeah, I'm gonna take one last picture with the sign, and that's it. I want to get back to tree line now. Switched over to my phone. For whatever reason, my GoPro's not working. I hope I'm not too blurry looking. But we made it out of the exposed area. Sorry, I'm so exhausted. But we are skedaddling our way down. And if there's one thing I know is, when I get back to my car, I'm driving up to a Subway. Oh, it's gonna taste so good. That's all I know. But I think we've probably done a good like 3 kilometer way down. Just a tad bit more of time, and I will be back to my car. So great news, the GoPro is not broken, and I also found a Subway. The only bad news, I probably look like the most, but yeah, no, my attire right now is not it. I'm currently repping the PJ with my Freestyle net hoodie and some Blundstones. But let's go order a sandwich and enjoy every single bite of it, and catch the road back to New Brunswick so that I can go say hi to my mom again. But yeah. No, you know what, I'll just keep the whole speech about Mount Katahdin whenever I'm back home, because I'm really hungry right now. Alright folks, so now that we are officially back in New Brunswick, I'm just going to leave it as that. If you've never hiked before, and you don't know how to hike, or you don't know how to prepare yourself, or you think that hiking Mount Katahdin is going to be easy,
please reconsider your decision, because holy days, I think out of every hike that I have ever done in my life, it's definitely one of the hardest that I've ever done. Like, I'm honestly speechless about it. Like, the beginning of it, it's sincerely really easy, but the moment that you reach past the tree line level and you're out there bouldering, like, those rocks were literally the size of my height. I'm talking about 5 feet big over here, which is crazy. Regardless, if you ever consider hiking it, be prepared to sweat a lot and to do some rock climbing, because that was crazy. Regardless though, hope y'all enjoyed this funny video of me hiking Mount Katahdin. Definitely did not go as what I initially thought it would. Regardless though, still an absolute killer experience. Why redo it? Knowing myself, hell yeah. But, thumbs up, subscribe, turn on post notification bell. Stick around for my next video.
Yeah, but boy.